Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a light classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with ExcelR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if ExcelR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with ExcelR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank ExcelR for being a part of it.
Good afternoon, dear faculty members. I hope you all doing well. Okay, we will start the session. Arif sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you can start the session, sir.
Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you are able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir, your voice is audible.
Okay. So I'll just share you some files, guys. Please download it so that in further training process today, we are going to work. However, the same files will get loaded into your portal also in meanwhile. So I'll just share you some files. Please download those things. Give me a second. I just shared you these two files. Please download those two files. Apart from that, the PPTs, which I'm working it out. So yesterday we discussed the installation part, and the other one also I'll share it to you. If you guys want to download those things also, you guys can download it. Okay. However, in your portal also it get updated, right? If someone want to practice later on, you guys can go to the portal and you can work it out from there. Okay. So let us just start with our Power BI introduction part, where we discussed the major elements regarding the major elements, such as we have what are the basic applications are there. So what exactly Power Query will do, how data will going to impact, how we have to work it out. We just started working on those things. Just quickly recap for you. So we discussed about what is the data, how exactly impactable when you're working on a data. And there will be a data types which will be defining your fields. I can say columns or information. So it can be a text, it can be a date, it can be a number, right? So numbers such as sales information, purchase informations, these can be. Where I shown you with some sample data, how exactly it looks, and how you able to derive any meaningful information when you're using the visuals. Yesterday we discussed on this one. So I'm quickly wrapping on those things. And even we discussed what is Power BI, how exactly we can use Power BI tool, right? It is a visualization tool to analyze the data or getting a inside information of your data and giving some decision-making calls. It helps you out on that. And even we started discussing on the major elements of Power BI, which are Power Query, Power BI Desktop, Power BI Services, and Power BI Mobile. So where we discussed that Power Query is an inbuilt feature where it will be using for ETL tool. ETL stand for extract, transformation, and loading the data. So whenever you want to clean the data, because whenever we get the data, may not be 100%, it will be a clean, accurate data. So when you don't have a clean, accurate data, so in such cases, we basically need to do some cleaning and cleansing. And not to get this repetitive activity, because what happened when you're getting some data, is there any errors are there? Same errors will be continued further also until unless they will do changes. So in such cases, repeated work will be there. To avoid that repeated work, we can use this ETL tool called as Power Query. However, on this we are going to discuss today detailedly. We'll try to work on this one. Now here, there is a second major element, which is a Power BI desktop. So your, I can say, major part will work on Power BI desktop only, where you're creating the visuals we called as report view. We write down some calculations, that is nothing but formulas, is known as table. And we also give a name for formulas over here as DAX. DAX basically stand for data analytics expressions. So we'll not call as a formulas over here, just like Excel, we called as DAX functions. Okay. The third one is modeling. Modeling used for a relationship connecting with various table. As many people who are working in industry, they already knows that whenever you're working with the data, we'll have multiple tables will be there, because everything we can't keep in one table. There are a lot of multiple tables, and you should have some connectivity to get that particular information. That particular connectivity is known as relationships. Going further, we'll discuss on detailedly on those things also. And we discussed on Power BI services, which will be used major purposes sharing the data to the client through a cloud network services, to refresh at certain time automatically. We have an option called as schedule refresh, and to give some restriction of a data for a certain users automatically, we have an option called as row level security, which we also called as RLS. RLS basically stand for row level security. Till here, we were discussed yesterday. Am I clear on this one? If anyone has a doubt till here, please let me know, so that we'll clarify that and we'll move forward. Okay. Yes, guys, if you have any doubts, concerns, I'll request you just paste in chat window. Just paste your doubts and queries in a chat window, guys. I'll let you know on that. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one, the Power BI mobile. So basically it is nothing but everyone will not going to view their dashboards in the, I can say, tables, right? I can say systems. They'll have tablets will be there, mobiles will be there. So to make your dashboard convenient on your mobile view or a tablet view, we use Power BI mobile services. So how do you customize on that? That will be there. Am I clear on this? See, Power BI, the reason we go with the tab, right, instead of a Tableau Power BI, first thing is that it is a low cost. The perfect answer I can say, low cost. It will charge very less compared to your Tableau. Another one is it is having a ETL tool, right? So you can easily clean the data and work it out the data. And more impactively, there are around 800 formulas are there, which can be customized more detailing information as the job requirement or a client requirement basis. So you can do more elevations, more customizations, or more insights from a data. That is the reason it is more demanding in the market. Tableau has limited. You have around 150 formulas something are there. So it limited at level of detailing part. Whereas here, you can do more elevations in that. I hope it is clear on this. Now let's move on to the next one, guys. Here, if you are going with the next slide, if you just go with summarization, it is nothing but when you use the Power BI services, because services will not come free of cost. Services, you have to have a corporate ID, or you have to pay XYZ amount for that. So we have different licenses are there. Okay. We have Pro, premium per user, premium for capacity. These are the three services are there which will be used based on the company requirement, project requirement, based on the size and other accessibility, you can use it. If I say, if you have a big organizations, take an example of Capgemini, Infosys, TCS, right? They'll go with premium per capacity. We can have hundreds of users can work on that particular one. But if you have a limited size, around like 30, 40 are there, we'll go for premium per user. If you are having a limited size of data, then we'll go with pro services. Okay. So if I just go ahead with the beginner part, Power BI is the best tool, because the reason is that more demanding in the market will sell more. The first thing. The second thing is at low cost, right? Small companies also, I can say, prefer for Power BI tool instead of a Tableau. So in that particular case, Power BI makes more opportunity when you are looking as a fresher or non-experience or any other different roles to move on to this particular role. Okay. Let's move on to the differences between services. So what exactly differences you'll get when you are using different types of services in a pro? So sharing, yes, it is available for all, right? AI feature, it will not be available in pro. AI feature is nothing but Copilot. Okay. Whereas in premium per capacity and premium, it is available. Paginated report is not available, right? Whereas in premium per user and premium per capacity, we have it. Here, data size limitation will be around 1 GB. Here it will give you 100 GB minimum or maximum, I can say. Whereas premium per capacity will start 400 GB as a minimum. Then you can expand as per your job requirement or a client requirement process. Whereas we have an option called schedule refresh, if you are aware. So we can refresh at certain time. So in that particular case, pro user can refresh 8 times in a day, whereas a premium can refresh 48 times in a day. Same goes with premium for capacity. Am I clear? On a same note, if we go ahead with the option called as Power BI desktop services, mobile app services, what are the key features? If you just want to like to know. First, we'll start with the desktop. Desktop is a main tool which you'll use to create the reports or a dashboard. So you can have use case such as you can import the data, you can clean the data, you can create a relationship between the table, and you can do the visualizations. Because whenever you're working on the data, first you have to pull the data from a server. Once you pull the data from a server, then there might be a cleaning data. So for that, we require a transformation. Obviously, when you are pulling multiple tables, unless you give a relationship, you will not able to create any appropriate visuals. So for that, modeling and visuals needed. And it's a Windows platform applications. For a Mac users, I'm sorry, you can't use it on a MacBook unless you have a virtual machine. Am I clear? Now let's go ahead with options called key tools. Is Power Query, which is a ETL tool, DAX, which is your functionalities, data modeling used for relationship, and appropriate visuals. And audience, people who are analysts, who are into development, who are working on report-based activities, they can use it. And you can publish these particular reports through Power BI services. And your entire desktop model works offline, completely offline. Yes, for publishing, you have to require online services. That is for Power BI service, not for desktop. Now, let's jump into the Power BI services. So what is the usage of Power BI services? The first usage is that it is an online platform which you use to publish your report, and you can share the reports for X users, and you can collaborate with multiple reports. Generally, you will have different reports in an organization. Like HR report will be one, there will be a sales report, there will be a purchase report, we'll have different reports will be there. When you have different reports, when you are sending for your HODs, you require a consolidated report, or I can say highlight of your reports. So all these things you can do it under Power BI service level. And purpose of using for creating the dashboard, scheduling refresh, and you can collaborate with multiple members of your team and work it out on your project. You can do those things. And this platform is completely a cloud. Internet access is needed over there. And key tools here, we have workspace, dashboard, report, sharing, alerts, and creating the apps. I hope it is clear till here. Now, audience, I can say business user, decision makers, managers, and HODs. Obviously, we are a developer. We build some information, some report. Who will take a call? The management will going to take a call. So for them, it will going to help you out. And publishing, you receive the Power BI desktop, the data and reports. From there, you are publishing the report. Right? Is it an offline or online? No, it is in a completely online part where internet access is needed. I hope clear till this point. Now let's jump into the next slide. We have a mobile feature. When you talk about the mobile feature, accessing the reports or a dashboard, but not in the desktop, either in a tablet or a mobile. I hope it is clear. Usage, monitoring the KPIs, ongoing real-time data updates, you can easily cross-check. So you can check your report wherever you are. You don't require a laptop to view your dashboards or report. Even you can access on your mobile also. So it can be work for iOS, Android, Windows, mobile app services. So it can be used for iOS also, Android also. No problem with that. Key tools, it is an interactive visual. Obviously, you can just have a slice and dice, you can check it out. Notifications will be there. Mobile optimizing report, so it will be customized based on your mobile option availabilities. And audience, as I told you, the same will executive, sales, mostly I can say field work managers will be there who are just work on the field. They want to see the latest report, latest information or a current information. So in that particular case, they can go with Power BI mobile. Similarly, publishing, right? You can't publish it, but yes, you can publish the report, but you can't create the report. A report will be done by user only. I can say developer only. And if I say offline, I'm not saying that completely. Yes, because it is a sharing report, you require an online access. I hope it is clear on this differentiate. Let us just go ahead with the just an overview part. Report creations, desktop only can do. So that means development will be there with the desktop only. As using Power BI services or mobile, you can't develop it. Data transformation, that is nothing but cleaning the data. You can do in desktop only. You can't do in service, you can't do in mobile. Collaborating, connecting with the people and sharing the reports, other things that you can do from service or mobile. You can't do it in the desktop because collaborating works once you share your reports, right? Sharing the report also works on services as well as mobile. Okay, the platform I can say for a desktop, it is a window user, Mac, you can't use the desktop, right? Whereas the Power BI services, mobile user, mobile app services anyone has, they can use it out. Internet connectivity, Yes, for a desktop, we don't require it, but for service and mobile, you need it. Just an overview of the other summary report, just now what we discussed. I hope clear till this point. Now, let us just just check out about mode of connections. Now, I hope everyone downloaded the Power BI application. I had shared you the files to you for how to download it, and yesterday we discussed on that also. So if you are going to connect, you can connect for multiple file sources. Let it be open. I'll just show you how many files you can connect it. There are multiple files are there around, I can say 80 plus like files are there from where you can connect the data. Just for an example here, if you click on the blank create these sources, you can do it. You can get from the other sources also. If you click on the other sources, when you click on other sources, see that these are the different sources are there from where you can connect it. Almost around 80 different applications from where you can connect it. It divides with the categories also. Flat files, which store under your systems, databases, Microsoft Fabric, it's an online platform from Microsoft, Power BI, Power Platform is also same thing, Azure Cloud Network connectivity, online service connectivity, and some web other connectivities are there. You can see. Around different applications are there, you can connect it. But these applications, mode of connection divide into 3 layers. It has been connected in 3 different layers. There are 80 plus tools are there which you connect. But those connectivity has been divided in 3 different modules. We called as mode of connections. That is nothing but importing the data, direct query, and a live. Import in the sense it download the data into your system, that is nothing but Power BI desktop, and then it works. It can be used for all your flat files and your database. Direct query can be used only for a database where data will not get connected, but data will be there in server, but still you will be able to connect the data to the server and you will be able to showcase your reports or dashboard. So in import, data will be there in the Power BI desktop. That means physically it is available in your Power BI desktop. Whereas here, it is not physically available, it is a virtually available. It will be there in the server. Through the connectivity, you are able to prepare the report over here. Live is also same thing. Only difference is that it is a non-cloud services, it is a cloud services. As many people may not aware of that, whenever you are working with the organization, if they are maintaining their own servers, obviously it is their own right options. They are not taking any rental services. So in that particular case, those called as non-cloud services. Azure, like take an example of Azure, AWS, Google Cloud Network. These are service providers. Somebody has not have that much budget to maintain the server or to get a establishment of a server. They can take the rental services and they can use it. Something like that, you will have a rental basis activities are there if you are not purchasing any furniture, other things. All right. So we'll have a rental services also. You can take a rental basis furniture also. Only for a period which you are maintaining, at that time you have to pay it. Similar to that only. If your data into a cloud network service, we called as live. A data which is non-cloud network, we called as direct query. Both are virtually connected only. Physically, it is not available under Power BI desktop. I'll show you a practical example on that also. Don't worry on those things. Okay. But what makes a difference? Difference is that here you can connect with all the database and flat files. Here you can't connect with the flat files. So reason is the size. Import accepts around 10 GB only. If it is more than 10 GB, then it is not compatible. You can't use the services called as import. So at that time, we'll use the option called as direct query or alive. So when you're handling a big data, obviously you are connecting with the server. Either server will be a cloud or non-cloud. If it is a cloud, I'll use live connectivity. If it is a non-cloud, I'll use direct query. Am I clear? Now, just they check out the workflow when you are working in the organization, how you are going to build a dashboard or a report. What are the steps you have to take when you're working on a report? The first thing is that you have to connect the data. Once you connect the data, you have to transform and clean the data. If you're able to clean and modify the data, then after that, once you load it, you have to create a relationship. Okay. Now, once you create the relationship, what you can do, you can build a visualization reports, right? Maybe in some cases we use DAX functions also. Then what we do, we publish the data to the Power BI service. From there, we can share and collaborate. So these are the steps which you have to work when you're working as a Power BI developer, or when you're working on your reports also. But what is an advantage? Once you work this activity, you need not to do again and again. As soon as a time will get updated, your report will get refreshed. New data will get also added into that. So a report will be a latest report. Need not to work a repetition of work. Am I clear? Just remember this point. So when you are working, we'll try to work on the same pattern. Okay. So this is in a workflow. Just to show you step-by-step process. Assume that you are connecting with any of the applications. So what we are going to do first, we'll go for importing the data such as Excel, SharePoint, CSV, Google Analytics. You can connect. Once you connect it, using Power Query, you are going to clean the data. Once you do the cleaning the data, then you are loading the data into the desktop where you create the relationships, and with the help of Power Pivot concept and your calculations and the schema modeling, we'll able to prepare the modeling that is nothing but relationships. Okay. And based on that, you'll able to create some visualizations, KPIs, or we can say slicers. So when you're going with the reports, we'll discuss on that one. And once your development got done, you're publishing the report. These are some detailing of those same steps only, what we discussed. Right? In the sharing and collaborating, what are the elements we have? You can share the report through a Microsoft Team, through a SharePoint, or through mail. You can do that one. There are other prior, right? I can say major activities are there, such as schedule refresh, row level security, data alerts. You can work on those things. Okay. So let's see the process. I'll show you practically this PPT slide, how you can connect the data and how do you work on the data when it is a CSV, when it is an Excel file. The first example. So here you can see, here we have a data. This is your report, but interface maybe slightly get changed. The reason is that it is a latest update. Now, how do you check whether it is a which edition? Yesterday we discussed that Power BI get updated every month. Power BI get updated every month. Now, which is the update? Which update you are using? How do you come to know? So for knowing that, go to the files. Here we have an option called as about. click on About. You can see here we have July 2025. So it's a July updated file. So latest updated one. But only updated is not enough. Right? If you want to get the latest future, like the futures I'm getting in the right side, you may not getting the same view format because when you're loading, you'll get some older pattern, or I can say the basic pattern of this one. I already shared, and however, you'll get this PPT slide, everything on your, I can say, LMS portal. Okay, once you enrolled, right, you already got a link of LMS portal. There you have a data sets that will get loaded by EOD. You can check it out. Okay, however, I shared the file at end of the session. I'll share it to you. Don't worry. Okay, here, take an example. I want to get the data from an Excel. Now I shared you a file called as Superstore, error Superstore. Let me just share you one more time. The file which we are going to work it out. We have a file name called as error Superstore. Okay. Now that file which I shared to you is a CSV file. The file which I shared you is a CSV extension. CSV means your text or comma separated value. Right here in get data, you find the option text and CSV. You can see in the PPT slide the same steps. Go to the home tab, click on data. There you can choose which extension you have. Right. Once you are connecting, you have to browse and select that file. And it is a flat file. When it is a flat file, you are using which mode? You are using import mode connectivity. Okay. As you are getting import, here you get load and transform. So you can see you are getting the connectivity. Now here you are getting two options, load or a transform data. If you're clicking on the load data, what will happen? It get loaded into your Power BI desktop. But if you want to go with query, you can go ahead, click on transform data. So this will show you how you can connect on a data when you're using a flat files. This is one process, guys. However, I'm just deleting because let me show you another data modeling of connectivity. If you look at your slide, if you want to connect from the web sources, then what we have to do? If you want to connect from a web sources, you just need to go for get data. There you have web connections. Click on web. Okay. Then check the URL. URL, if I just required, there is all the website will not give an access to you. I'll just give one website link also for you, which is currency exchange. So if you just go with currency exchange, here you can see we got some tables. Here you can see there are some tables. If you can see, you'll have different exchanges are there. You can check with those also. Let me just go with one more website. You can see here we have a table. Okay. So just take this URL. come over here, paste under URL. If you just click OK, it will ask for your web connectivity. This takes time because the reason is that when you are loading from internet, it will going to search entire tables. Here you can see. Now we have a table. If you want to load the table, just click on the load. It will load directly to the Power BI. You can see it getting loaded over here. Like this, you can load from a web also. And whenever in the web, the pricing will get changed, your table values also get changed over here in the report also. Am I clear on this part? This is known as a web connectivity. I hope clear on this stuff. See, BSc, NSC also will get, but some websites will not give the permissions. You can just go ahead, Nifty or Sensex, we have money controller are there. You can check it out. It will get connected, but again, it will take some time also. Okay, at the time of loading initially, but however, once refresh data, you can just go ahead. So once PPT get completed, I'll share it to you guys. Don't worry. Okay, in the between, I can't close and continue the things. So once it get completed, I'll share it to you. All the files, I'll share it to you. Don't worry on that. Just copy the link. As if now for this case, you can use on that one. I hope you receive that link. You can just save it or making as a favorite. You can do that one. Now, if you just go ahead with another option, which is called as your data sets. There are some data sets are there. Superstore UD, Northwind dataset. You can go ahead. There is another website for currency converter. You can go with this one also. Okay. If you write down Northwind dataset, you can get with open data source. You can connect from there. So we'll discuss on the query first today because we are discussing on Power Query. So Power Query, as we already told you that it will be using for cleaning and cleansing. So whenever we have a complex data, we're going to clean and cleanse. We're going to work it out. The major do's are nothing but removing the errors, null values, filtering the rows, renaming the columns, splitting the columns, merging and appending, cleaning the data types, add custom columns, or grouping the data. These are the some of the major elements. Okay. So as I told you that ETL process works on 3 layers: extracting, transformation, and loading the data. Right? So today we'll start working on this Power Query workflow. We load the data, we do some changes the data, and we load the data into the desktop. I hope clear on this particular one. So let me just share you the PPT for the installation and the files which we are working today. I'll just share it to you. Someone want to download, they can do it. However, somebody has, all right, looking from a YouTube, joining from a YouTube, or I can say somebody is checking on offline class, they can get the data from LMS portal. Okay. And I'll just request for a YouTube, I can say management also from ExcelR. who's managing the right, YouTube profile. So to add this particular files into the as attachment also, or a drive link, so that people can go there and download it. Okay. Now here, the first most thing is that I'll just delete this table, because just for a sake of purpose, how to load the data I'd shown you. For a query other modeling, we'll just work it out later. So I'm deleting the option. See, first thing is that this is the latest view format of your Power BI desktop. To enable the latest features, you have to do few changes. The first change is go to the files, go to the option called as options and settings, go for options. Once you reach the option, you can get a window where you can see there are a lot of setting processes are there. Here we have few processes you have to do the changes. The first one which you have to do is that go for a preview feature. You can enable all the options which are added newly. So generally it will not be options, right? Latest version will be there, but the features will not get connected. To enable that, you have to check those options. I have not checked for a Spanish language because I don't know Spanish language. If somebody aware the Spanish language, they can click on that. When you're preparing AI charts, at that time it helps you out. But the language which will going to support is a Spanish language. I am not having a good Spanish language, so I'm just working on an right, unchecking that options. Apart from that, remaining all you can do it. Copilot, as if now you can't use it because you are into learning plot. If you are taking a working access such as premium per capacity, then you will get these options. Another one is that you have the options of, I can say, securities. In the securities, you have an option called as map, fill map visuals. You have to check this option. You have to go to the securities under global, where you have to change to map and fill map. And the third changing is under current file. And that will be there for every file when you are loading it. And that will be for a person who is working on MMDDYY format. Generally, there will, when you are working on the system, your time zone format either DDMMYY or MMDDYY. If it is MMDDYY, for those candidates, whichever the file they loaded, you have to come to the current file, go to the regional settings. Here, it will be normally English, United States or anything else. You have to change according to your region. Because right now we are operating from India, so we are checking English India. If you are working on US, need not to change it. The local, right, localized importing access, you have to do it. Am I clear on this? So these are the some of the setting changes you have to do. Click OK. Once you have done it, you can see that what exactly it says. Enabling one or more features, you have to restart your Microsoft desktop. When you say restart, you have to save your workbook and you have to open again. Now, how to do the saving process? Saving process is go to the files, click on save as, wherever you want to save, whichever the location, go there and give a name. And save it. You'll be able to save over there. And once you save it, close the workbook, that your Power BI workbook, and open the Power Workbook again. If you are not doing this action, then changes will not get implemented on your desktop, even though you check those options. Because any multiple changes you do it, you have to reboot the access system. For rebooting the access system, we have to close our workbook and open the workbook again. Here you can see I have a file where I'll find under recent options. I can click and open it. Am I clear till here? Okay. So today we'll try to work on the data where if you have a data cleaning and cleansing. Remember guys, as of now, when I'm using Power Query, my intention is show the normally related, whatever the I can say regular activities will come for cleaning and cleansing, right? At every file, you may not have these options. You have to cross check it. Okay, it varies. Now I'm not working on completely a project related exercise. So we'll work project related exercise at last. I can say on a 5th day, we'll discuss on project related exercise where we're going to detailedly explain on those elements. Clear? Today, our complete focus will be on a Power Query. What are the cleaning, cleansing activities will come and how do you implement those things while you are having the data or you are having those type of scenarios. So it is a scenario based action. It is not working on a project related entire. So for end-to-end project on a day 5, we'll discuss completely end-to-end project exercise. Okay. So today we'll try to work on the ETLing process. So as I loaded the file earlier also, somebody doesn't downloaded that file. I'm just sharing one more time. If anyone want to download, they can download it. So I'm sharing 2 PPT and 1 Excel, 1 CSV format. For the first exercise, I want to load the CSV file. The file name called as error EU superstore. Okay. If I want to load this file, right, it is a flat files and it is a CSV. So to get the data, what we have to do, click on get data. As you can see over here, there is an option called as text/CSV because it's a CSV extension. Click on text and /CSV. Select your file, which is my file name called as error superstore. Click on open. Now, whenever you connect any file, it will ask 2 options, whether you want to load, whether you want to transform the data. When you say load, what do you mean by load? My data is cleaned one, so I need to directly load it. But whenever you are loading, we are not sure, right? Whether we have to load or a clean data or not. So if you are not sure, first time I'll say that go with a transform. If you are loading the table for the first time, I'll request you go to the transform data so that you can do cleaning and cleansing. Cleaning and cleansing the format. You can see that here we have a table. Table consists of columns and entries. Remember, we never called as rows and columns. In Excel, it works single row as each data type. Like if you're given a column name called as amount, you can insert number also, you can insert text also, you can insert date also. Anything you want to insert, you can insert it because it works individual cell wise data type. But whereas when you're working with the tables or I can say database, we never work in that fashion, right? We work on field or you can say columns or a table. If I define a field called as text, it accepts text only. Even you give number, it I read as a text only. If you give number, it accepts only number. It doesn't accept text. let's see a few examples on this. Okay, here if you just click on these icons, these are the data types which you have in your Power Query: decimal number, fixed decimal number, whole number, percentage, date and time, date, time, date time zone, that means you'll get universal time, duration, text, true or false, and a binary format. So these are the different data types are there, which will be identifying with some icons. If it is a decimal number, it will show as 1.2. If it is a text, it will show as ABC. As you can see, text is ABC. Percentage will show you a percentage icon. Am I clear? Right. We are discussing on those factors only. What are the factors we are going to check? The first part is data types. Okay. So for that, you need to know this sign indicates for what. Now, how do you decide whether this data type is correct or not? Right. Generally, when you're working on the data, you know by giving a title, you'll come to know. If I say sales, it should be a number. When I say city, it should be a text. Right? So you can able to identify the data with the field name, and inside we have some data. Right? Based on that also, you can cross check it. So when I say profit ratio, whenever you're going with the profits, we'll actually call based on the ratios, right? Percentage. Ratio means percentage. So this data type is perfectly fine, as you can see over here. Now, if I go with categories, what do you have in the categories? Office supply technologies are nothing but text. ABC defined for what? Text only, right? So this data type is perfectly fine. Same goes city. Same as country and customer name. Am I clear till here? Now, if I just go ahead towards the right hand side, we have discount. Generally, discount will give in a percentage or a value. But if you look at there, most of the things our values are giving percentage. Right? We don't give 10 rupees or 10 paisa, right? Whatever the X value is there. So in this case, it is perfectly fine. But when you look at number of records, the name itself describes number of records. That means what? Number. Is my data type is correct? ABC stand for what? Text. So my requirement is what? This data type is incorrect. And to correct this data type, what you can do, you simply go to this data type icon, click on that. If you look at there, the whole information is having a whole number 1111 like that you have. Right? Here we have a text due to which my data type is reading as text. So let me convert into whole number. If I convert the whole number, it asks changing the type. Do you want to include into present type or add new step? Personal recommendation is that always go for add new step. If I click on add new step, you can see that there my data type get changed. And if you want to see your previous result, just click on the above of your apply steps. You'll be able to find. So in 17th row, I have a text. When I converted into a number, it is throwing an error because text can't be converted into number. So obviously it throws you error. Am I clear on this stuff? Okay. And remember guys, we are not the data owner. Whenever we get the error, in that particular case, what we have to do, we have to check with our client. There are errors due to this reason. What we have to do? Should I replace? Should I remove? If you want to replace, simply right click. There is an option called as replace error. Able to find it? Click on replace. Give there 0. You can see. Am I clear on this one? Now here you can see whatever actions I'm doing it, right? Such as changing the type, replacing the error, everything is getting recorded in apply steps. What is the advantage of this recording? Right? If you want to communicate the same thing again and again, what I'll do recording, and whenever it needed, I'll play it. Same thing will happen over here only. So whenever a data is getting loaded downside, you may have similar type of an error. As soon as you click on refresh, everything, the actions which you have done for a downside record also, if you have similar error, it will rectify automatically. So downside, if you have any text, like here we have some rows, right? Below the rows, you added some more rows. You may have text over there also. So obviously when you convert into number, it change into number and you get an error. Those error will replace with 0. So repetition of action is not required. That is the reason we use Power Query, whether it is in Power BI or whether it is in Excel also. In Excel also you have Power Query. You can use over there also. It's an automation of your ETLing process. Let's wait for some time here. I'm into the process, right? So the files, obviously it gets time for a loading. Okay. So however, at end of the session and as well as we're going to circulate into your LMS portal also. From there also you can download and you can work it out. Very important is that you please look into the thing elements so that I can give more and more information on the ETLing process. Practice, do it later. However, you're getting the recording sessions. Either you check in YouTube or you can check it in your LMS portal also. So you can check and you can rework on that. Okay, check the steps. I'll explain you what are the probabilities, possibilities. I'll explain everything. Okay, so you can't do a practical like parallel exercise over here. My personal recommendation is that go with the recording, right? In a YouTube, as well as you can check it out, I can say in your LMS portal recording also, and you can practice on those elements. So that I can give more and more information or detailed information on a subject. I hope it is clear on this. Okay, now let's jump into the next option. Here we have order date. Now, is the order date data type is correct or wrong? Order date should be a date, right? Order date should be a date. But ABC stand for what? Text. So let me convert into date. Here, if I convert into date, you can see wherever I was having text, it is throwing as an error. But I told you the settings of regional local files, right? If you're not doing that, wherever you have date, where you have a month, it will show you like 20. If you're reading as MMDDY, it also throws you error because we don't have 20 month, right? This also will convert in a error. So please go with the recording, check how to check to convert that data type option problem if you're using India option. So in regional settings, under options and settings, right, current file, you can do the changes. If you're not doing, even some of the dates also throws you error, which is actually wrong activity. Am I clear? Now here we have the option of error. As I told you, we are not the data owners. You have to check with your data owner whenever you are doing any changes. Now assume that your data owner says that I don't require the errors. I don't require a record which is having an error. So when I'm just using of a remove error, it doesn't remove only this particular one item. it will going to delete that entire record. It's going to delete the entire record. You can see for error, we are having a Samsung product, 15%, right? So let me just check it out. I'll select the column, right click. There is an option called remove error. So you can see that Samsung 15% is moved out. So the entire record will get eliminated, not that particular value, the entire record. So that is the reason we'll say that you should not take the ownership. You just need to confirm from your client or a data owner, and then you have to do the changes. I hope it is clear till here. The data types are nothing but variables, so these are the one and the same only. Okay. Now let's go ahead with the order ID. Is the data type is right? Right. When we use order ID for unique identification, however, in this table it's repeated, but ignore that. But generally we use for unique identifications. When you're using unique identifications, it can be a number, it can be alphanumeric also. But when you have alphanumeric, it reads as a text. So no problem with this one. I'll give one more example on this one. Assume that you have a mobile number. Mobile number should have a number, right? 10-digit number or 11-digit, whatever the size of the number, it will be a number. But if you keep under text also, you don't have any problem. Because we never do any aggregations for those fields or those columns. We never do sum of your mobile numbers, right? Sum of order ID. Order value you do it, not order ID, right? So in that case, it should be a text only. Am I clear? Okay, guys. Now similarly, if we go ahead with manufacturer, okay, here we have a manufacturer which is giving as a text. Obviously, these are text element. ABC data type is perfectly fine. Same goes with your product name, perfectly fine. Here, I'll just skip for a while for a profit. If you look at for quantity and region, my data type is perfectly fine. Am I clear on this? I hope it is clear till here. Yeah. Now, here you can see there are similar type of an errors. You have it in both the sides. So if I try to convert this profit into a whole number, you get all errors. The reason for error is that the icon which you find it over here, you can see, right? It looked like some infinity icon, right? Due to which it is not able to convert into a number. Am I clear? Now, in this case, how do I clean this one? If you have a character, then I can clean it, right? If I don't have that character in the keypad, how do I clean it? For a cleaning process, what do you have to do? Select any one item, either from amount or a profit, any one item. Here downside, you can see that text and a value. So copy that particular character by using clicking over there, shift and arrow keys and Control C. I can copy. Same shortcut key which you use in Excel. Control C for copy. Now here, I want to do a replacement for a both fields or both columns, I can say. But at a time, I have to do it. If I want to do at a time, what I'll do is that I'll just use Control and a joystick to select multiple columns. Now, generally for replacing, we right click and replace the things. But as we are selecting multiple columns, to avoid the errors, or avoid the compatibility, I can use the options from the ribbon. These are known as tab. These are known as ribbon, as you know in Excel. Same thing. Okay. Here in the home tab, we have an option called as replace value. Right. So I can use replace value. Click on that. When you click on replace value, you'll get a window. Right. With what you want to replace with what. So I want to replace this sign with nothing because I need to eliminate that particular sign. I have to just remove the sign. So I just want to paste this sign over here. Right, in the place of that sign, what you required? Nothing I required. So just paste in field value the sign and replace with, don't do anything, simply click OK. So wherever that sign is there, those has been omitted. Am I clear? Now you can see over here, when you are going with this one, I want to change my data types. If I want to change from here, it will change only for one field. Again, I have to do for two fields separately. Instead of doing from here, I'll do the action from ribbon. In the home tab, we have an option called as data type. Above your replace value, you can see. You can click on whole number. You can see it converts into whole number. And wherever there was a text or any other element, it throws as an errors for you. Am I clear on this? So you just need to contact to the coordinator for LMS link other possibilities because I don't have a control on that. I'm not the concerned person or a right person. So just check with your right ExcelR right counselor will going to guide you on that. Okay. Now here you can see that you have the amounts, but there are errors. To replace the error, if I right click, it works for only that field. To apply for both, here I don't have replace error in the home tab. For this scenario, I'll click on transform data. There you have replace value. Downside of this, we got replace error. If I click on replace error, you want to replace error with which value? For example, I'll give 0 or any other value. You can give that. Click OK. Those error will get replaced with 0. Am I clear? If we are doing on two columns, same activity. If you want to do differently, you can do that. Right? One by one, you can do that. I hope clear on these data types. Now here, we have few more elements such as segment. It's a text. So ABC is perfectly fine. Shipping date. This data type is for date. Perfectly fine. If I just go ahead with shipping mode, it's a text. So ABC, fair enough. State, also text, fair enough. Subcategories, also fair enough. Am I clear on this one? So here, what is an advantage is that right now, how many rows are there? Right, till that it has been cleaned. But assume that some data has been added further. Tomorrow added some more data. You may have a similar error. You need not to work. Simply go to the home tab, click on refresh. It will do all the transformation automatically. You need not to worry on that. Just for an example, I want to change my table name. I can change it from here under properties. So you can see I change it as Superstore. You can type and change other name also. Completely up to you. Now, how do I come to know that how many rows are there? How many errors may have downside? So if you look at there are 20 columns. but 99 plus rows are there. Is it we have 99 plus rows only? Plus means how many? Right? Because here it is showing only top 1000 rows only. What about downside? How many are there? How do I check? So for that, you can click on transform data. There is an option called as count rows. You can see we have around 10,022 rows are there. So it is working on those rows. But undo this action. Simply come to the apply step. Whichever the action you want to undo, click on that cross mark. I hope clear till this point. Yeah. Now here it is showing only based on 1000. If I have downside also some errors are there, how do I cross check? Because I am able to cross check from downside entries. So for that, select any column, press Ctrl A, just like Excel. The entire table gets selected. Here in the home tab, there is an option called as keep rows. Under that, we have an option called keep errors. If you click on keep errors, in the table, any field or any row item has an error, it will show you that entire record. But as of now, I don't have anything. I'm getting as my table is empty. So this action, I have to undo it to get the table. So I can click on this cross mark. Okay. So these are some basic changes which generally we do it, but there are multiple options are there which you can use based on the data. I'm not saying that all the options you're going to use when you're using the application. No, you are not going to use it. Whichever necessary for that particular requirement, we are going to use it. Such as we have splitting is there, grouping is there. We even have transformations are there, such as making uppercase, lowercase, trim, all Excel type of activities. Extractions are there. Okay. Conditional formattings are there, columns. It's conditional format here, nothing but not adding the column, writing the if statement activities. So all these options are there, right? So as we just have, I can say 5 days time where we can't discuss all the details, but you guys can explore it. You can work on that. So make sure that try to explore from your side also. Various sources are there from where you can learn it, right? You can just join for an ExcelR or any other platform. You can join it and you can have interaction session. You can clarify your doubts and work it out. You can go with YouTube's, you can check with ChatGPT. The source is plenty. But only thing is that you should have an interest to learn the subject. If you have an eagerness to learn, then you can do that innovations. Right? Innovation will happen when you have eagerness. Otherwise, you can't do that. When we started as a laptop or a computer, it was a 10 by 10 room. But it comes now in a pocket also. Yes or no? How exactly it happened? Innovation. There was a curiosity. Why can't we can reduce it? Why can't we compress it? Right? Earlier, for having big data, you need to maintain a big server files. But nowadays, you're getting to mobile. 250 GB, right? More than that, 512 GB, you're getting in mobile itself. Initial days, we used to have 512 GBs for only desktop versions, not for anything else. But nowadays, it is compatible because technology will require a curiosity to improvise the right aspects or innovations. So make sure that you try to have an eagerness to learn the subject. If you have an eagerness to learn the subject, obviously you'll easily able to learn on the subject. Okay. And I'll just request you guys, in your LMS portal, we have attendance link, right? You can just go ahead and give your attendance so that you will get a certifications also. Because when you're giving a time, when you're grabbing some knowledge, with that, it adds an advantage if you have a certifications. So my humble request is that please go ahead and just give your attendance over there. And as well as Sushmita also, I'll request, can you just share me the link so that I can share for the people who are there on online so that they can join and attend that, give attendance over there. Okay. I'll just come to the topic. Here we have done the cleaning. Once you clean the data, I just want to load this particular file to my desktop. How do I do that? I'll go to the home tab. Here we have a close and apply. So remember ETL. ETL, E stand for extract. We extracted from CSV source. Whatever we have done is nothing but transformation, changes. Now we are loading the data. So that's the reason your Power Query tool called as ETL process. Extract, transformation, and loading the data. I hope it is clear for you guys. Yes, guys, if you have any concerns, then you can just paste me in chat window. I'll just look into that. Now, once you load it, you can see here you find the data sets where you find the data. By using these visuals, you can create the report. But today, we are not working on the reporting part. Today, we'll try to work out on one of the key features are there in the Power Query, which is called as append and merge. Append and merge. So for that, I already shared you one file, which is called as append and merge, but still, I'll share you one more time also. If someone has not downloaded at that time, please download it. Somebody already downloaded. No, it is unable. Now I am able to read your message. Sharma sir. Okay. So for people who are attended bit late or may have some concerns on the e-tailing process because you can't do it parallelly, my request is that go with the recording, right? Try to work it out and come back with your query tomorrow. Right? Because we have around like 1,000 people are there. Right? Maybe 60% maybe understand that particular topic. If I'm repeating, that will be repetition activity for them. Okay. So my request is that we'll clarify. But first thing is that you have to work on that. Please go ahead with the recording. Try to work on the recording. Come back and next class you have any concern, please ping me. First 10 minutes, we'll work on that only. Then we'll jump into the topic. I'll try it, sir. Give me a second. I'll just check it out with Susmita. So if she shares the link, I'll share it to you guys also. So color combinations, other things will come under visuals. When you're going with color combinations like visual preparations, at that time we'll discuss. Now let's move on to the next feature. Append and merge. This is also Power Query feature for e-tailing process only. Now, I shared you file called as Excel workbook. Earlier we worked on CSV. Now we are working on Excel. Now here we have Excel workbook. Click on Excel workbook. We have file name called as append and merge. For the first scenario, I required only these two tables, day 1 and day 2. Day 1 and a day 2. Clear? So I'll just click on transform data so that it will go for a Power Query editor. and just give me a minute. I'll just check for the attendance tracker. If I can get a link, I'll share it to you. Give me a second. Sir, I'm just checking on a team with team. I'll just share it to you. Give me a second. Okay, I'll just share you the attendance list link to you in a meanwhile. And somebody requested that we required any private classes, other things. Yes, ExcelR provides that one. So if you want to enroll for that, you can go with an ExcelR, right? Services, you can go ahead, but it is in a paid one where you can go ahead on those things. Clear? You can check on that. Welcome back, guys. I'll share you in a meanwhile. Just give me some time. Yeah, I'll just share you the link, guys. Just give me some time. Okay, concerned right person will share you around 4:30 or 4:35. I'll just give it. Give me some minutes. We'll work on that. Now here, the first thing is
sorry
that,
for the impact. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dear faculty members, I request please don't ask the attendance link for the trainer because he is teaching something. If you interrupt in the between, he will also get disturbed. The attendance link will be shared at 4:30. It will be active till 5:30. Every day I will be sharing at 4:30. Okay, between that, please don't ask for the link. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah. So if you can see that when I load it, there is some error. If you want to refresh, try, you can retry. Now you are getting it. Right? Now you can see what type of information you have: order ID, product, region, sales, and month. Right? Similarly, we have day 2, order ID, product, region, sales, and a month. I hope it is clear on this one. Now, generally, there is an option called as consolidation. As a working profession, you know very well that when you are working, right, you are pulling the data day wise, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. But monthly, you require a consolidation. Your attendance tracker also. Daily attendance, you take it. But at month end, you require to consolidate all the attendance. If you want to do that, then in that particular case, we can use the process called as append. There is a process which is called as append. Append, what we'll do, add the data into row level. There is a simple way of answering append and merge. Append, it adds the data into row level. Merge is something which adds the data into a column level. So as per the requirement, you have to decide, should I go with append, should I go with merge? If you look at this file, day 1 and day 2, I just want to add the data under row level. So if you want to add the data into row level, I'm going to use append query. But if you look at their append query as new. This is basically when you do append query, it converts the consolidation option in the same day 2 file. That means your day 2 file will get disturbed. Day 1, day 2 information will come under day 2 itself. But my client requirement is not like that. Day 1 file should be separately. Day 2 file will also should separately, right? I required the consolidation should come separately. So such cases, I need to go for append query as new. If you go with append query as new, here we have my primary file is day 1. My secondary file is day 2. Assume that you have more than 2 files are there. So in that case, you come to 3 or more and you can add it. Now, as soon as you click OK, now you can see consolidate. In day 1, we have 10 records. Day 2, we have 10 records. In append, you can see all 20 records information. Am I clear on this append process? Okay, I'll just share it to you guys, the link. I think it has shared for everyone, but still. But it get activated around, I can say 4:30. From 4:30 later on, you can do till 5:30, link will be there. So don't worry, you can just concentrate on, I can say, class. Just click on the link, open the link and wait for class get complete. Once class complete, you can try it out. Fair enough. Now you can see over here, the appending has been done. So like this, if you have n number of files, you can easily consolidate it. And assume that you loaded the files, you appended the file. As soon as data get loaded into that Excel, it automatically adds into your main append file. So one-time action, need not to do action again and again. I hope it is clear on this stuff. Clear with the appending process? Now let's go ahead with the next process, which is called as merge queries. Merge queries. When you're going with merge query, I'll try to load the data first. If I want to keep all these files in a separate folder, so select your files, right click, you have the option called move to the group, new group. I'm just giving any name. I'm giving append as a name. You can give any name. Click OK. You can see all these files will come under appending. I'll click on other query so that my other files will show you over there. So this time I'm not loading from the desktop. I'm loading from query. Even you can load, if query is open, you can load it from query itself. You can see in the Power Query itself, we have an option called as home. There we have new source. Click on Excel. Whichever the workbook you required, select it. Whichever the sheets you required, you can select those sheets. If you just want to remove the duplicates, other things, we have the options on the queries, which you can do it, but based on the client requirement. Obviously, when you say appending, so you are going to append based on, I can say, repeated actions. Order can be, right? Give a new order also, same quantity, same price. So that doesn't matter based on the need. Yes, if you require, you can do that. Now let's come to the option called as merge. As I told you in one line statement, merge is nothing but adding the column data level, right? Adding the column level data. So if we required column level information, we use merging concept. Just look at an example. In table 1, we have order ID, I can say customer ID, customer name, and city. But if you look at over here, your header are in downside. Your headers are in downside. So if you look at in the query, there is an option called as use first row as a header. If any case your header is showing in the first row, you can use this option, use first row as a header. So if you click, it converts into the header. But if header is there, actually that is your first entry, then you can move into your first row also. Depend on the requirement. Okay. So here we have 3 fields: customer ID, customer name, city. I hope clear on this element. If anyone has a doubt, please let me know. When it comes to table 2, if you look into table 2, I have order ID, customer ID, product, and amount. I hope it is clear. So my client requirement is that I just required city to be extracted based on this customer ID. So do we have city over here? No. Do we have customer name over here? No. If I required customer name and city, right, which is there in the other table, how do you able to extract it? So depend on the options or requirement. So for that, we are using the option called as merge query. If you required output separately, you have to go for merge query as a new. So I'll just go for merge query, but where I required under table 2. So I'll select table 2. I'll go for merge query as new. Here you can see we have a tables. Here we have comparing with table 1. So remember guys, whenever we are taking in a merge, we have 2 tables to be connected. Above table known as left table, below table is known as right table. Please remember, above table known as left table, below table is known as right table. Am I clear on this? I hope it is clear. Yeah. Now here we have different types of joints. Joinings are nothing but rules. Okay. The first rule I'll try to discuss with you is inner joint. We called as inner, right? In a bracket, it tells you what exactly do. It gives only the matching record rows. If you look at there, we have around 10 rows are there. You can see 10 entries are there, right, in table 2. But when it comes to table 1, here we basically have, right, 10 rows. How many rows are matching? All 10 rows are matching. If all 10 rows are matching, you'll get all the information from both the tables. But here it gives the table name. You have to click on the expanding process. For that, you have to click OK. Here, I'll take all 3 so that you can come to know, is this same customer ID or not, to have a cross check. Okay. If I just click OK, now you can see that here you are able to derive their customer ID, it's matching, and the relevant information you can easily extract. You can extract that customer name and the city. Am I clear? Any doubts? Okay. Now let's go ahead with the next option, right? Because here in this case, all the entries are matching. As all the entries are matching, then in that case, all the joins will work same level only. Okay. Let us try to do some data which is not matching from the either tables. So for that, what I'll do, I'll just open my source file. I'll just open my source file, which is append and merge. Here I'll give table 1. I'm giving as, instead of 006, I'll give 016, one name. Okay. Here I'll just go for table 2. The 16 also you have it. I'll just, okay, 16 is from this table. Here I'll go for customer ID. I'll give 14. Here I'll give 900. Okay. So I'll just change some records to have a reference. I'll save this reference. Now here you can see you have done the changes. Earlier it was matching all the records, so you're getting all 10 records. Okay. Now if I simply click on refresh, if I click on refresh, now how many records you're getting? Only 7. Why? Because that 016 is not matching, 014 is not matching, 900 is not matching. Right? It automatically, whatever you changes there, you have done it, it automatically get changed over here. I just need to simply click on refresh. My rule still works. Am I clear till here? Okay, let's try to do it. So if you want to do rework on that, simply click on source settings. Simply click on source settings. Okay, the joint, the common element you already selected. If you are not selecting the common element, this OK will not be enabled. It will be disabled only. You have to select those common element. Now I'm using the option called as left outer joint. You know, left table has 10 records, right table has 10 records. But when I use left outer joint, what exactly it gives? It gives all the records from the left table. It gives all the records from the left table, but which are not matching from the second table, for those you will get null. Now you can see how many records are matching. Only 7 records are matching. That means 3 records are not matching. Whichever those 3 records are not matching, I'll get as nulls for those things. Just look at over here, click OK. Generally, you'll get a table. If you want to expand, click on expand. Generally, whatever you require. For example, I required name. city. You can choose whichever you require. Click OK. You can see name and city. These IDs are not matching. 014 is not matching. 006 is not matching. 900 is not matching. Am I clear? So when I use left joint, it gives entire left table information. Even you required, for example, I required now ID also to cross check. Simply I'll click on the setting icon. I'll click customer ID. And then I'll click OK. You can see that I'm getting entire information according to my left table. But out of that, only 7 are matching. 3 are not matching. Even though we have 10 records over there. But these IDs are not matching. So I'm getting nulls over here. I hope clear on this point. Similarly, if you want to do another joint, I'll just close this one. Click on the setting icon. Now this time I'm using the option called as right outer joint. When you say right outer joint, what exactly it says? Now earlier it was giving the table according to the left table, right? But if I'm using right joint, you'll get all entries from the right table. And from left table, whichever matching, those only. So earlier you're getting the records for, right, null values for which one? These 3 values, 900, 14, and you are having another one called as, right, was there as, I think 4, you have some value, right? You are getting for that one. So if I use right outer joint, and when you click OK, you'll not get those IDs. I'm getting nulls. Okay. If I want to expand, click on that. As if now I require all 3 so that I can check with ID wise. You can see you have the 7 records are matching, but according to the right table, you don't have 004 information. You don't have 016 information. You don't have 009 information. Am I clear? Clear with inner joint, left joint, right joint. The same concept will be used under different applications. Whether you're using Tableau, whether you're using Power BI, Alteryx, or any database, we work on the joints. Basic concept of connecting the tables. Try to understand this algorithm. It plays a vital role. I hope it is clear. Now, there are few more joints are there. If you look at there, we have the options such as left full outer joint. Full outer joint will gives the complete information from both the table, whether it is matching, whether it is not matching. So here you have total 10 records in the left table, 10 records are in the right table. So when I use full outer joint, will I get all 20 records? Answer is no. You will get 16 record, not even 16. The common records are 7. 3 records are not matching from the right table. 3 records are not matching from the left table. So match record or a common records plus unmatched record from the left table, unmatched record from the right table. So total match records are 7. How many are matching from the left table? 7. How many are unmatching? 3. 7 plus 3, 10. How many are not matching from the right table? 3. So 10 plus 3 will give you 13. So 7 plus 3 plus 3 will give you 17 records. If you want to see, click on the expand, click OK. You can see 13 records. So what is the concept of doing this? Match records plus unmatched record from the right table, unmatched record from the left table. I hope it is clear on this one. If anyone has any other doubts, queries, please let me know. Sure, we'll do that one also. Feedback link also will get shared to you. Sushmita will going to share you on that one also. So don't worry on that. Okay. Now let's come to the next option. Right. We have two more options are there. If I do undo, click on the source setting icon. There is an option which is called as left anti. Right. So when I use anti means the data which is not match. When I use left joint, 7 records are matching. How many records are not matching? 2 records are not matching. Right? Those 2 records, sorry, 3 records. 3 records will get it over 7. Right? If you take out of 10, 3 records will come. So if I use left anti, from the left table, whichever the 3 records are not matching, those you will get it. Same goes with your right anti concept. Am I clear on this activity? Very commonly used. Kindly practice well. Check it out so that it helps you out while you are working further. Clear? If you want to load, do and close and apply, it get loaded. But my condition is that I should not load these files such as day 1, day 2, table 1, table 2. I don't want to load it. So in that case, what we have to do? If you don't want to load, here under manage, right? Not manage. Here under properties, select that particular table, go to the properties, check unable to load the report. Click OK. Same thing for those files which you don't want to load it. You can see I'm just unchecking those loading concept of their properties for each table. Right now you can see if I use Alt tab, I can go for my desktop. How many tables I have? Only Superstore. Right now in query, I have 4 plus 3, 7 files. But when I load it, only this append 1, merge 1 file will get loaded for me. If I do close and apply, you can see you are not getting day 1, day 2. You are not getting that table 1, table 2. The reason is that I checked not to load it. But the consolidated files or the consolidated in the row level or a column level, those has been loaded to you. So whenever we want to compress the data, performance optimizations, we use these elements. In a backend, we are doing that. In front end, you don't go to those files. So in this case, when you have less tables, right, less, I can say complexity will be there, easy to work it out. Am I clear on this concept? For today, I can say we work till here only. Okay, feedback form also, right? Link has shared to you. You guys can check on that. Okay. So I'll just request you guys kindly just go through once, try to work on those concepts and come back. If you have any concerns, will not give much time. I can say any query which you are having a doubt, you'll able to clear it when you're going with the recording session. Okay, please go with the recording session. Without going recording session, if you just practice from your side, obviously doubts will be there. Right? If you stuck any place, the first I can say 5 to 10 minutes will allocate for that. Okay, you can ping me. I can just re-explain you on that particular topic. Otherwise, tomorrow we are going to discuss on, I can say, visualizations. So first, we are not working on DAX, we are not working on modeling, we are working on visuals. Okay, we'll take one simple basic table and we'll try to work on that. Okay, so here the basic table which we are going to use and work it out, there we'll try to understand at which occasion which visuals we required it, right? So such as we have bars, columns, tables, pie chart, donut chart, line chart. But are you aware of which visual should be used at what time? No, right? We never know, right? As a layman point of view, you don't know. But as a developer, you should aware of when should we use line chart, when should we use pie chart, when should we using table or a matrix, or a based on the KPIs or a requirement base. How do you work it out? Am I clear on this one? So tomorrow's one is very interesting. Somebody want to work on the visual elements, I can say you can learn a lot of things. When you're preparing any reports, right, you can easily come to know that which chart I have to use in which place, appropriate place. There is an advantage for each particular chart, right? A common charts are there which we're going to use. So tomorrow entire session will be on that only, where we're going to discuss on that element. Day after tomorrow, we'll try to discuss on data modeling concepts, like as per industry requirement, right? What are the pros and cons will come? If your table is in this way, how do you connect with other table? If you have this table, then how do you connect with that? We'll try to discuss on this data modeling element. Okay, and fourth day, we'll try to discuss on the DAX calculations. Right? How can you use DAX calculation? How can you use AI future to work it out with your DAX calculation, reduce your efforts? How do you work on that? We'll try to discuss on those things. And the final day, we'll try to work on a realistic project so that you get an idea when you're a project, how you have to think, how you have to work based on the KPIs. KPI is nothing but key performance indicator, or you can say requirement. Any specific requirement, right? If there is a requirement, how do you work it out? Am I clear on this stuff? Any doubts? If anyone has any doubts, queries, concerns, please ping me out. I can address to you. We still have another 2-3 minutes. A valuable time. In 2 minutes, 2 doubts also getting clarified. Right? So make sure that utilize the time, guys. Time is the money. Many people say money, right? Money you can earn back. Time never can earn back. Right? Today you are getting the right 1 lakh rupees. Tomorrow you can get that 1 lakh rupees again if you're losing it. Time never comes back. Same thing will happen with yourself also. If you're learning now, campus selections or the upcoming interviews or other moving to some other organization, easy can do it. But if you give excuse, right, we never will going to work it out. Many people give an excuse, right? We'll do it later. But once time goes, you never will be back again. I'll just give one small example to wind up my session. If assume that some person is keep adding the tools and keep jumping from one organization to another organization over a period of 1.5 to 2 years, I can guarantee you that in the next 5 years, he'll be the manager or he'll be HODs of a company. Because whenever you add a tool, demand market valuation will be there. Obviously, other company looks for the latest technology environment. Okay. The second one is that his package will be increased almost, right, 30%, and that too compounding rate, not usual rate, compounding rate. It will going to work it out. Okay. And moreover, when you are taking a jump and if you are going with a peak level and multiple subjects or latest technology, with the knowledge which you occupied, obviously you will be in the management role. And a person, if keep giving an excuse, right, he may try the same thing, but after 2 years, right, you have to wait at least, I can say, another 5 to 6 years. Competition, other things will come into the picture. But if he is having same attitude, that excusing, so he will never able to match up with that other fellow. Am I clear? Guys, feedback form, please share it out. I think Sushmita, you can just share it. Once again, people are requesting.
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll be sharing.
And I'll just share you the files which we worked today. However, these files will get loaded by end of the day in your portal. You guys can check in the portal also. I just shared it. Please check it out. Okay, guys. In that case, I can say we'll just end up our meet. Have a great time. Have a great future.
Okay, so dear faculty members, I hope you all marked your attendance. So as session is completed for the day, that's what I'm just giving a reminder, which the attendance link have shared it on a chat. Once again, please mark your attendance. And as informed, attendance link will active only till 5:30. Okay. Yeah, so related to materials and the PPT, which is going to be uploaded in LMS dashboard, please kindly be. And related to LMS access, as you all are texting in the messages that you have not received the mail, so please be waited. Within 24 hours, you will all receive the LMS access. Okay, so you don't need to worry if you mark your attendance every day. For definitely, like if you secure 60% or above 60% of attendance, definitely you all will get the certificate. You don't need to worry about the LMS. Okay. So yeah, thank you all. Thank you for joining. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you.